We can almost go back another generation. Our parents' parents made the conscious decision not to have an abortion so that they could be alive to have us, for us to be here today. Let's read Luke 11:29 through 32 again. 11:29 through 32. As the crowds increased, Jesus said, "This is a wicked generation, and it asks for a miraculous sign, but none will be given it except the sign of Jonah. For as Jonah was a sign to the Ninevites, so also will the Son of Man be to this generation. The queen of the south will rise at the judgment with the men of this generation and condemn them. For she came from the ends of the earth to listen to Solomon's wisdom, and now one greater than Solomon is here. The men of Nineveh will stand up at the judgment with this generation and condemn it, for they repented at the preaching of Jonah, and now one greater than Jonah is here." This crowd didn't just pop up. We could actually go clear back over to verse 14. As Jesus was driving out a demon that was mute, crowds came together, and they wanted to see a sign. Verse 16, it says, "Others tested him by asking for a sign from heaven." So all of this discourse that's happening, Jesus knows their heart. They want a sign. He said, "Well, you're not going to get any sign except for the sign of Jonah." Let's look over there in Jonah. Turn it over with me, if you will, to Jonah chapter 1. Jonah chapter 1. We're going to read just a little bit out of Jonah. The very small verse is considered one of the minor prophets, and Gil and I were talking about it earlier. Minor only because of the size of the book, not what is written in there. Jonah chapter 1, we'll start in verse 1. "The word of the Lord came to Jonah, son of Amittai. Go to the great city of Nineveh and preach against it, because its wickedness has come up before me." But Jonah ran away from the Lord and headed for Tarshish. He went down to Joppa, where he found a ship bound for that port. After paying the fare, he went aboard and sailed for Tarshish to flee from the Lord. Then the Lord sent a great wind on the sea, and such a violent storm arose that the ship threatened to break up. All the sailors were afraid, and each cried out to his own god, and they threw the cargo into the sea to lighten the ship. But Jonah had gone below deck, where he lay down and fell into a deep sleep. The captain went to him and said, "How can you sleep? Get up and call on your God. Maybe he will take notice of us, and we will not perish." Then the sailors said to each other, "Come, let us cast lots to find out who is responsible for this calamity." They cast lots, and the lot fell on Jonah. So they asked him, "Tell us, who is responsible for making all this trouble for us? What do you do? Where do you come from? What is your country? From what people are you?" He answered, "I am a Hebrew, and I worship the Lord, the God of heaven, who made the sea and the land." He just told their gods who they were, didn't he? "I am a Hebrew, and I worship the Lord, the God of heaven, who made the sea and the land." This terrified them, and they asked, "What have you done?" They knew he was running away from the Lord because he had already told them so.